Om Swastiastu. Good afternoon, sir, and all of you. So today we're gonna present our presentation or our project. So the title is FFQ or Food Frequency Questionnaire and SQFFQ or Semi-Qualitative Food Frequency Questionnaire. So before that, I will introduce our member groups. So the first one is Putu Setya Puri Cahyani, name 002, and the second one is Wayan Widya Astuti, name 024, and the third one is Diah Kurnia, name 025, and the fourth one is Kadek Mita Adnyani, name 026, and the last one is Krisna Brahmantya, name 030. Well, at the end of the presentation, we will hold a question and answer session with 3 questionnaires in each session. So I will start the presentation. For the first speaker, please begin the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Diah. The material of 1, definition of FFQ, Food Frequency Questionnaire, and SQFFQ, Semi-Qualitative Food Frequency Questionnaire. Definition of the FFQ, Food Frequency Questionnaire. The Food Frequency Questionnaire is a questionnaire that provides an overview of energy consumption and other nutrition in the form of a person consumption frequency. This frequency includes daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly, which are then converted into consumption per day. The FFQ provides an overview of individual eating patterns or habits of nutrition. Food and food ingredients listed in the FFQ can be made according to the needs of research and research facilities. Definition of SQFFQ, Semi-Qualitative Food Frequency Questionnaire. The Semi-Qualitative FFQ is a method that collects information about serving size as a standard portion or option on serving size. In the semi-qualitative FFQ method, the quality is obtained by adding up the nutrition content of each food. Okay, this is our presentation continued by my friend.
So the material number 2 is the principle of FFQ or Food Frequency Questionnaire and SQFFQ or Semi-Qualitative Food Frequency Questionnaire. So what's the principle? So the principle is the general principle in using the FFQ and semi-FFQ is the frequency of food consumption as a risk factor of the emergence of case of malnutrition. This frequency of food consumption must be measured accurately through the FFQ method. Based on this consideration, some of the principles of the FFQ are as follows. The first one is preliminary study systematic. The second one is list of food and beverage. The third one is food stuff group. The fourth one is long period of time. The fifth one is calibrate by another method. The sixth one is measure inclination. The seventh one is food consumption score. And the last one is low literacy group.
Material number 3. Types of FFQ Food Frequency Questionnaire and SQFFQ or Semi-Qualitative Food Frequency Questionnaire. FFQ or Food Frequency Questionnaire is a method of assessing food consumption. The FFQ is a questionnaire that provides an overview of energy consumption and other nutrients in the form of a person's consumption frequency. In this case, the FFQ has 3 types, namely, first, simple or non-quantitative FFQ, second, FFQ semi-quantitative or SQFFQ, and the third, quantitative FFQ.
Okay, the next material is type of FFQ. First, simple or non-quantitative FFQ. This FFQ does not provide a choice about the portion that is usually consumed, so it uses standard portion. The second one, FFQ semi-quantitative or SQ-FFQ. The semi-quantitative FFQ is a qualitative FFQ with the addition of an estimate portion as a measure, for example, a piece of bread, a cup of coffee. And the last type is quantitative FFQ. Quantitative FFQ is the FFQ which provides a choice of portions that are usually consumed by respondents. For example, small, medium, or large. The next material is SQ-FFQ. The semi-quantitative FFQ is a qualitative FFQ with the addition of the estimate portion as a measure. The semi-quantitative FFQ is a modified food frequency method by estimating GURT or household size in grams. In this case, the type of SQ-FFQ have not been found in its application.
Material number 4 is the strength and weakness of FFQ or food frequency questionnaire and SQ-FFQ or semi-qualitative food frequency questionnaire. The strength of FFQ: 1. Does not require complicated procedure. 2. From the target aspect, it can be used in low literacy groups because it uses the direct interview method. 3. Accuracy in making a list of food or beverage ingredients on the FFQ form. 4. Does not bother the subject with complicated preparation because it can be done at the time agreed between the two. 5. Do not force consumers to remember all food and drink that have been consumed in the last 24 hours. 6. Can be done in all survey location setting, both at the household and community level, at the hospital or agency. The weakness of FFQ: 1. More complicated preparation is needed in order to make a preliminary study of the list of food ingredients entered into the FFQ form. 2. Unable to describe actual consumption because this method is a method of measuring past eating habits and is still ongoing today. 3. Unable to measure the quantity of food eaten at this time because this method measures only the diversity but not the amount of that food. 4. Cannot measure the fulfillment of nutritional needs because nutritional intake can be calculated if we have the weight of these food ingredients. In this method, there is no data on the weight of food consumed by its subject, so that is not properly used to determine individual or family intake.
Strength and weakness of SQ-FFQ. Strength. 1. Not only can the frequency of consumption be known, but the eating habits of the subject are also known. 2. SQ-FFQ also has an advantage in its form, namely having a portion size for its food. Weakness. 1. The amount of food known by this method cannot represent the actual amount per day. 2. It takes a preliminary study or a preliminary survey of the list of food items entered into the form.
Well, our presentation is complete or finished. Thank you for your attention and question for today. End of the words, I say thank you very much for your time and for your attention, focusly, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you.